of the Supreme Ambulate Rejection 12, Supreme Exotic Ambulate Rejection 15, and our Advanced Ambulate Rejection 17. Now, just going to put this out here real quick. We had some incidents that popped up about people trying to just discredit our company's name, other things such like so. We're not going to respond back by basically doing side-by-side screen paint demonstrations, nothing like that whatsoever. We've already have addressed the matter, and it's being taken care of. We already have sought and obtained legal counsel on the matter. So from here on then, we won't be speaking of this anymore. As I said before, the people that we paid to take care and to handle this situation, we're going to let them do their job. We also till on Monday morning, we will be contacting I guess after it's Federal Bureau, I think that's what it is, for the copyrights and something on that end involving the Instagram account unuseful, not having our permission to use our logo and other things in copyright infringements. We'll be filing a complaint on their behalf also too, and our attorneys will be following up behind that. So demonstrations from here on in on technology we're working on will be strictly on what we're working on now, and we won't be talking about that again. That is going to be for those particular parties to handle that situation and get that taken care of as fast as possible. All right, with that being said, I'm going to move on from here. We're doing a little late night testing. Believe it or not, I just got up, which is kind of weird because I don't remember falling asleep, so I'm up. So I want to get some more testing done on this screen. So usually my gripe is I always say about screens testing against other white screens. It's a very easy demonstration. Keep in mind, you all know we have a kitchen drawer full of sample sheets, which this screen will be tested against. How you doing? We have another screen coming in by a company called, I'm gonna spell the name out because I'm gonna learn it correctly. It's just a weird name. It's a company's name is it's LUXINI. So I heard a lot about this screen. There's a fellow on there who basically claims that it's the same as better than our technology, so we bought it. It's on its way. We also bought two sample sheets from Elite Screens. We bought an acoustic screen to go side by side against the black acoustic screen that we have, and we also bought something called a CLR, I think it is, a screen that's designed for ultra short throw, which is fantastic because now that means that some of the screens we couldn't use in ultra short throw, we can if we buy these particular forms of screens from them. There's a few other companies too we'll be purchasing from also too. I found out, and interesting, I didn't know that Optima had a projection screen, which they do. They have a black one, which now we have to look into that one because I'm curious what this black screen can do. So I'm curious about that. Yeah, 8. Ooh, that's a long time, dude. That's a long time. 8 got discontinued in COVID because we couldn't get the product anymore. We just couldn't get it. This is not an 8 or a 12. This is something completely different. These are 17s. This is something we've been working on. So the screen paint that we have is not black, but it's extremely dark. So we heighten the white levels on the technology to see how it would compare next to a white screen. So these are the tests we have to do. How many we created so far? How many we created? How many God allows us to be able to create? It's not about what I create, it's what God creates at the end of the day. It's not me, it's God. So, I give him the credit for what I'm able to do. So it's whatever he allows me to make is whatever I'm allowed to make. That's how I go from there. All right, just what it is. All right, so let's continue with this. So we're going to go back. We're going to do some, because this is all contrast we have in here. Yeah, so you got to let him do his thing, and, then you can do your thing. So we're going to come out of here real quick, and we're going to pull up. And we got plenty of toys to play with. Let me show you my toys in the background. Oh, these are my babies right here. We got all the big boy toys. That's a 6500, 5000 lumen. We got them all here. We got all Chrissy. So it's Chrissy, Sony, Chrissy. And then I got a bunch of other projectors over here. These are 2000 lumen portable projectors down there. We got the low lumens, 1000 lumen projectors. We got them all here. So we have plenty of fun. All right, let's bring up something on the screen because I am really curious. I got a chance to play around with it a little bit last night until my battery supply shut down on me. So I'm gonna get a chance to get a look at this thing. So we can get out of this. We know we're gonna pull the contrast over so the screen is much darker. So let's see if we can go with, Oh, and by the way, the large white screen you're seeing, that's an Elite screen. That's an official Elite screen. So we're not using some generic version of a white screen. We're actually using a certified screen, which is an Elite. Oh, you like this music. Let's see, I think I was on a slant there. Felt like it. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to bring out better and better technology and more affordable for our customers. So it has to maintain the contrast level, but most importantly, it has to, it's going to maintain the contrast level anyway. We need the white levels to show. So it has to be able to maintain bright, beautiful, vivid images without becoming too dark. And it must maintain contrast without losing the contrast because the white levels are too high. So it's complicated when you develop a darker screen. White levels can't be too high, where the black levels suffer, and the black levels can't be high or too high where the white levels suffer. It has to be a perfect balance in between. So that's what I'm looking for when I do these demonstrations like so. Let's do if we do colors, there's only a different story. No, cancel. Samsung 4K demonstrations. Oh, she kind of missed that one. Samsung 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Like me having a little debate and everything. Like, what do you want? You got to be more clear on that. Now, I ordered an ultra short throw projector. That'll be pretty soon. Oh yeah, I do it all the time. We got a test screen downstairs that we paint over and over and over again. You can just paint right over top of it. The 17s are different. So the 17s are both front and rear. They have to be sprayed on. This is a front and rear technology. So if you want to do a rear projection screen, you can coat this on plexiglass and you can use it as rear projection. If you use it on front projection, then you have to prime the surface dark. Like if I was going to do this white screen has to be primed dark before I can coat it on. But if your screen's already painted, you just go over top of it with it. Now, out of the 17s, like I said, we have 2 mystery screens. This is actually one of the screens that's considered, it doesn't have a name to it. It just has the title of what the technology is. There's no name to it yet. There's another one. It's actually 2 mystery screens. There is an ultra bright silver, which we already have. We displayed that in 2020, in December 2020. And then we have something called the dark slate. Yes, the dark slate. That was displayed back in 2020. They're already done. They're downstairs. We just have to get ready to coat them to a larger surface to start doing the demonstrations off those screens, but they're already completely done. And then we have the Luminous Black, which is the blackest screen paint we ever developed. That technology is 3 times darker than the 12 and can pull an extremely high white level. And that's front and rear technology also. Let's go over and let's grab. Now notice when usually most people do demonstrations, darker screen versus a white screen, the first thing they'll do is they'll choose all contrast demonstrations, knowing that the black screen or darker screen is going to produce a much greater contrast level, and it's going to be to outperform the white screen. In this demonstration, we're using all high bright images to show you how high the white levels are to the darker technology compared to a white surface. That would be the only purpose for me to do a screen side by side to a white screen. It's basically to display the white levels off our technology, not the contrast, because we know the screen's automatically going to be to produce contrast, which means it's going to have a greater advantage over the white screen. So that's why I said everybody takes the easy shortcut. The shortcuts we take the hard way, because it'd be easy for me to come on and say, "Hey, look, we got a darker screen. Look at the contrast levels." Of course, it's going to beat the screen. It's a black screen. There's like a gray screen. It's going to beat a white screen. The contrast levels are going to be much higher than the white surface. So that's why we do the opposite. We'll take the screen and we'll put high bright images on it to show you how high the white levels are on the darker technology compared to the white screen. So that's why I said you have to take the hard way. Anytime you develop something, it's always best to take the hard way. Take the most hardest, most difficult way, because if your screen can surpass that, then everything else is a cakewalk. That's why we have screens so we can walk around the house and all the lights are on and the screens are firing up, because everybody else, when they do their ambient light projection test, they're in ambient light controlled environments. There's no point in that. So we do them outside because there's nothing protecting the screen. There's no windows, there's no doors, there's no roof, there's nothing to protect the screen. And then instead of going out there with a 4300 lumen or going out there with a 5000 lumen, we use a 1000 lumen projector. That screen has to fight and earn that respect to have that label. You know how hard it is to get a projector to travel at 13 feet at 1000 lumens to be able to make contact with a screen and then pull a 190-degree viewing angle, and 15s did that at 4:51 in the evening. So that's a struggle for a screen to do, but that's how they have to earn that label. This technology right here is going to be a breeze outside. I can tell already from the door, from the results of how the screen is reacting. It's not going to be hard to get it to react. No, we don't want that. We already have a channel. That's what comes with AdSense. We don't have channels attached to this. I'm just using YouTube on this because it'll ask me over and over again, well, I like to make a channel. Like, no, we already have 2 of them. Actually, I'm actually designing a Christian channel for home theater. So that's why I said when I watch the demonstrations where people are showing off, any big companies and everybody showing off demonstrations of a white screen versus a darker screen, the first thing they're going to pinpoint is contrast levels. It's just basic common sense that a darker screen is going to be a high vantage point over a white screen when it comes to contrast. That's the easy part. But what you should be showing is how does the screen react to the white levels of the white screen? How high are the white levels on your technology, as dark as it is, compared to the white screen? That's what you should be seeing, but they don't do it that way. Everybody cuts corners. Even people in the big corporations, they cut corners. So when they're out there testing their screens that took them many, many years to develop, and they're testing it basically solely off a white screen, we're taking your highest, most advanced technology that you have to offer, and we're testing it against our technology. And that's why the screens react this way. And keep in mind, this technology is only at 30% done. It's missing 2 elements that are not here yet that we added to it. So it's only half done. It's not finished yet. It's 30%. It was developed yesterday. The technology is just basically going to force bigger companies to come up with better technology and more affordable technology. Because if we're coming out here and we're developing technology that can surpass their best screens, and we could do it for very, very, very low price, then, 5,000, like I said, it's their decision on what they want to charge for a screen, but I think $4,000 to $5,000 for a projection screen is a massive amount of money. And then you can't just use an outdated projector. You have to use next or the latest model on this. And we know what our latest model's projector is going to cost you. And most of those videos are using 4K and laser projectors. And projectors are going to cost maybe $2,000 and $3,000 for one of those projectors. So if you've already spent $5,000 or $4,000 on the screen, you got to pay an additional $3,000 to $2,000 for the projector. That's almost like being like $6,000 to almost $8,000 already. And you haven't even bought your movie furniture, you haven't bought your popcorn machine, you haven't even bought your sound system yet. So you're talking about a system that could very well cost you into $10,000. And keep in mind, that's just for a 100-inch. If you want to go outside to a 120-inch, if a 100-inch screen is going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000, what do you think a 120-inch screen is going to cost you? And what if the screen has to be short though compatible, which means they're not going to give you that for free. That option you're going to have to pay for. I have people saying, well, I've been on Amazon, I've been on eBay. I don't see these screens you're talking about. You can't buy those screens from, the only way you can buy one from eBay, unless somebody previously had one and they sold it. You can't go on Amazon and buy the screen. You have to go to the dealership or an authorized dealership that has the right to sell that particular screen. That's how you pick them up. And you can see how dark the technology is, and you can see how it's able to produce a white level high enough to come close to matching a white screen. But also when you see when the contrast levels comes on, the white screen can't pull it up. When the colors come on, the white screen can't pull it up. Let's go to, let me see, I need to go to, we need to go to LG snowboarding demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, I don't expect the white levels to be pure as a white screen, because like I said, it's very hard to match a white screen, especially when your screen is very, very dark. But I expect for the white levels to be clean enough that you can see them. And as you can see, it's doing that. Producing an extremely clean white level. Now, once we get the 2 ingredients that are missing, one ingredient will heighten the white levels higher than this. White levels are good, but we can actually make them much higher than this. Okay. That's good right there to see. Let's go over to, let's clear this out. And let's go to, we did this one yesterday. I want to do this one again. What we mean by powerful, consider the fact this is a darker technology and it's producing white levels this high at 30% done. It's not even completed yet. Hopefully next week we'll have it ready and good to go. We're just missing a few elements and it needs to do a few tests. I can't wait to do the test on this thing. I'm really excited about what we'll be able to do and how it's going to react at the screen. But yeah, it takes 1 day to complete, about 2 days to complete all the tests. We can knock all the tests out in 1 day, but I'm a little bit exhausted. So we're going to break it down into 2 tests, and we're going to be running the ultra short throw demonstrations. We're going to do the long throw distance throw at 1,000 lumens. We're going to do the 11 screen or maybe 12 screen or maybe 13 screen certified versus we have to do the outside demonstrations. There's a whole lot of screens have to go through. Once it passes 2 days of that, then we'll basically earn this label once it reaches the 13 feet at 1,000 lumens, which I don't think it's going to have a problem with. And then after that, it'll be on the website. Most likely, it'll be available in 1 quart and 2 quarts. Gallons usually come later on. But you'll get a chance to watch all the tests live. We actually broadcast our tests. Curious about that one. Let's go to, I want to see this one. I'm curious. I'm always in mind, we're 30% in on this. I need to see exactly where these white levels are laying at. Wow, this is pretty good. This is really, really good. Wow. I tell you, my Lord's amazing. He gives you an idea, man. He gives you an idea. Look how high the white levels are. And this screen is so dark. Look at that. Look how dark that is. Look how high those white levels are. That's what I love about my Lord and Savior. I give him the praise for this. I always give him the praise for everything, but this right here is wow. Unbelievable. That's why in my mind, nothing's impossible. Because like I said, when you have the Lord and Savior giving you knowledge, nothing is impossible. That's why I don't worry about the naysayers. People say evil things about me because I know where my knowledge comes from. And I know it's going to keep getting better and better. This is amazing. Look at that. That is absolutely insane.
See how dark that surface is.
Look at that. That's why I said when you see this, this isn't me. This isn't my work when I tell people. This is my Lord and Savior. This is what he blesses me. And every time I come out here and I give him the glory and I give him the praise for basically blessing me to give me the understanding and the knowledge to do this, my technology gets better and better and better. Now we're at the point where we have the black technology being developed. With this level of technology, you have any idea where this travels to now? Because we have a darker element that has the ability to pull extremely high white levels. This is pulling higher white levels than a luminous right now. So this technology now, wow, this changes things on so many different levels you have no idea. That means we can make even more darker screens with more heightened white levels. We're going to get to a point we're going to actually have a screen that can produce a white level very close to almost like a white screen. God, thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful blessing. Thank you. And some people get angry over that. You know, hey, that's you. But I'm going to praise my Lord for what he blessed me to have, because that right there is absolutely incredible. I kind of hesitated doing this particular video because the white levels are extremely high in this video. So I did kind of doubt it a little bit, you know what I mean? But Lord said, go in and do it. And I went in and did it, and wow, absolutely wow. Like I said, the white levels aren't going to be equal to a white screen, but good gracious, are they very close. And it just now allows us to see that, all right, we know how we put this together. We need to break it down from here. But keep in mind, it's only 30% done. So there's still two elements missing from it that will actually give it even more advanced levels of white levels. We're just going to dabble here for a little bit. I think I've done this demonstration yesterday. Now, just to add, this is a one coat application because it only took one coat to do this. And this is actually coated on plexiglass. Look at the blue. It's got the blue spot on the screen. Oh, this is going to be such beautiful technology. Can you imagine this on a sheet of thin plexiglass like I have over here? I have to do this screen over here. I have to do this screen. On this thin plexiglass, I have to do this. Oh, I'm definitely going to put this downstairs for the ultra short throw, for the theater room. Wow. Ooh. You know, I was thinking about developing a firm. Keep in mind this, and we have invisible black technology. I'm thinking about basically developing our own form of heightened primer that will add a more boost to your screen once you add the coating onto it. But it's a thought. Because we can actually make our own primer, which we can heighten that primer. We can code the primer. Let's let's do some other things we have on here. I'm just so curious about so much now. Because after seeing the white levels, they just there's really. Let's clear this out. We have to do the J and K. All right, I have to do that one. I need to see where the white levels lay at on the skin tones. Then we have to switch it over and go over to the TCL demonstrations from there. That's where we'll have to go from there. All right, so we're going to start off first with these here.
New Sudafed Sheer Hydration Body Collection gives skin lightweight 48-hour hydration it loves. Same flavor and crunch. Neat, whole new look.
I didn't get the commercials.
Thanks, Catgut.
Let me get the commercials. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Whoa. Yes. That is amazing. Okay, I got to go back on that one. I have to go back on that one just a little bit right in there. Wow. Okay. 30% done. 30% done. Wow, look at this. So I'm not worried about this right here because the screen's going to produce that because the contrast levels in the screen. It's going to produce that with no problem. What I need to see is I need to see the white levels on here. That is quite impressive. Okay, let's go to this one. Oh, we're gonna label this as one. This is gonna be labeled as white, the highest white levels on a dark surface, on a dark coating. Or formula, dark formula. Wow. Like I said, the limiters can't pull white level this high. Insane white levels. Wow. I can't get over that. Oh, we gotta find more. Let me see. We know we're gonna need to produce that. That's not gonna be a problem right there. That's definitely gonna be, we can do that one with no problem whatsoever. Contrast levels are definitely gonna fall on the screen with no problem whatsoever. Let's go over to switching this out. Let's see, let's figure this out. Let's go with TCL demonstrations. I'm going to do this one first. Well, I know the title for the next demonstration is going to be for tomorrow. Definitely. Dark technology with insane white levels. So I know why they make the silver screens and why they make you like gray screens. It's because they want to give you the heighten of those white levels. They want to give you they think they give you a brighter image, but without that contrast, your screen can't produce darker and richer colors. This technology has the ability to pull a heightened white level and deep, beautiful colors because it can pull contrast and white levels at the same time. And the problem is with that technology that they're using is the fact that if they try to darken the screen, then their white levels suffer horribly. So they have to keep it on a lighter level. They can't dabble in the screen too dark. Where with our technology, you know, with having our Lord and Savior giving us the ability and knowledge to do this, we're showing coding technology with the ability to be able to produce that high white level even when next to a white screen, and still produce the contrast level. I am blown away. I'm blown away! Now see how much deeper the yellow is right here in the card, right here, compared to here? Because that screen has that contrast in it, but it also produces that high enough white level. Yeah. If you notice, I'm not doing too many contrast demonstrations. I'm doing a lot of white levels, high bright images to show you how high the white levels are on this technology next to a white screen. We're not worried about contrast. We know the screen's going to pull contrast. It's not a big deal. Now this right here raises the bar for anyone developing darker screens. The bar just went up about 10 to 20 feet because now we have a darker version of a technology we're developing that is sitting right next to a white screen, and it is pulling extremely high white levels. Usually when people do these demonstrations, like I said, against dark screens versus a white screen, they're going to stay in the contrast zone because that's the only way they're going to be to show the high points of the screen. We don't need to do that. We're sticking in the white zone just to show you how high the white levels are that's pulling off the screen. All right, 100. When this thing reaches 100%, wow, this is going to be crazy. I know exactly what's missing from it, and I know what can be added into it to make it even better than what you're looking at right now. And I have to remember, this is still 30%. I wonder if we have any more of the other ones on here, any brighter ones on here. That's what I'm looking for right now. See how the reds are deeper here because it has that contrast level. It's pulling those red levels with no problem. Wow, this is amazing. This is why I don't sleep. This is why I wasn't asleep. I just woke up, literally. It's a good way to display the screen's contrast and white levels at the same time. Okay. Y'all just don't know. What I'm reading off of this, the information that's processing through my head right now, on what I can do alone with this technology. Our technology is stair-stepped, which means it can evolve into more higher and advanced technology. So what I'm seeing the screen doing is giving me ideas for future technology that we can work on to make it even more advanced than what it is. This is just the beginning stages of what we can do with this stuff. Kind of look at it like, you know, you all start off as a small little tree. And the more faith you put in God, the more water and more sun you receive. And the more your tree grows stronger and bigger. And from each branch you sprout out, each a different blessing from God. Is a different blessing from each branch, from each leaf. It's a blessing from God. It continues from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Until you become this very powerful tree that sits in the middle of the woods. Sunlight coming down from the Lord. That's how I see it. And for each tree, each branch, each leaf, I will always give him the glory for everything. And because of this is the blessing my Lord gives me. Mind you, we just went through a couple of days of somebody trying to slander and tear down what we built. And the Lord says, oh, no. This is what I give my servant. Yes, this stuff excites me. But we still haven't ran the test yet, so I don't actually know. We gotta run the test to it. I gotta calm down because right now I'm getting a little too excited here. Okay, I'm gonna relax a little bit. So here we're not concentrating on the darker levels. We're concentrating on the white levels. That's why I'm searching for videos that are nice and bright. This is what we're looking for. We want those bright levels. We're going to get a little contrast in there, but we already did snow and all that stuff like that. I haven't even gone through the colors yet. But I can't do the colors. It's no point because the screen's white. That's why. We need a 11 screen certified up here to do the colors. That's what has to be done, because you have to see the comparison between the gray and the silver and the darker screens versus our technology. We already did one last night against the Dark Star 9, right from the door when the screen was first developed. This was developed yesterday. It is only 30% done. It's in its very beginning stages. All right, contrast is getting a little too dark in there. We need to bring up, let me see. I want to go back to that J and K because that demonstration had me freaking riled up. That looked really good. Just want to go back to this one more time.
At Rainwater Flanagan's President's Day Savings Event, you'll get 10 or 20% off everything.
I know I kept saying Monday yesterday. I do apologize about that. I told you I work so much I don't even remember the holidays. Monday's a holiday, which I completely forgot, so I apologize about that. It'll be Tuesday, my fault. Sorry about that, people. Look at that. Look at that heightened white level. Just can't get over that. How much darker that is. Like I said, just to recap real quick, we usually, most people do demonstrations with a dark screen next to a white screen. They show only contrast only because they want to be, I've done this before, they want to show you exactly how the contrast compares to a white screen. But keep in mind, we do this against certified screens to show you that, look, this is our contrast against this screen, that screen, that screen, that screen. This demonstration is a little different. So in this demonstration, we're showing you, we're going to try to keep it at more white levels, because we want to show you how high the white levels are on the darker technology next to a white screen, so we can show you how high the white levels can compare back and forth, so that we can look at the white screen. And mind, the white screen is an elite screen, by the way. It's not a generic white screen. This is an elite screen, just to show you that we're showing the white levels of our black technology. We're not black technology. It's kind of a weird, kind of strange color. We say darker technology next to a white screen to show you how high the white levels can pull off. Like I said, it's very easy to do a contrast demonstration because, like, a screen's going to pull higher contrast. It's dark. It's hard to do a demonstration to take a darker technology, put it next to a white screen, and show all white levels, which we're doing now. And keep in mind, I can make this a challenge. You know how many screens would struggle to be able, a darker screen would struggle to be able to have to pull up a white level almost equal to a white screen? That's why I said, when the Lord gives you ideas and he gives you blessings, it's very hard to follow behind them. Let's go to, let me see. I want to do, come out of here. I'm literally looking for bright demonstrations. Let's try snow screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
That's extremely good. 30%. 30%. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard screen to go against. Extreme. I can tell from the door. It is going to, at 100, the screen reaches 100%, it is going to be an extremely powerful piece of, it's going to be beautiful. And this is on plexiglass, mind. We haven't even showed off the screen's color capability. We haven't showed off the screen's contrast capabilities. Right now, we're just showing you bright white levels versus a white screen. And it is doing insanely good. And I really, well, I shouldn't be a surprise because the technology comes from God. So I really shouldn't be surprised. He's the one who gives us the blessing to do this. We don't know what we want. We want the snow. I don't want the dark one because we're going to put a pull that contrast
The fastest growing TV brand in America hired Rob Gronkowski, NFL superstar, to drizzle syrup over a stack of pancakes.
Like I said, it's no point in me doing a contrast demonstration. The screen's black. I mean, I have to do this demonstration, and when it comes to contrast, when we have the 11 certified screens or the 12 certified screens, Then we do those demonstrations, because then that's a better challenge. For me to do this against a white screen, I would crush the screen with no problem, because my screen can pull contrast if I do a contrast demonstration. But to do it against darker screens versus the technology is more of a challenge. So that's why it's no point in doing it. We just need to stick to these white levels right now. Let's see what else we can bring up real quick. Anything's going to have contrast in it, which I'll show you, because I'm trying to avoid contrast, and you'll see contrast constantly pulling up, because like I told you, contrast is everything. It pulls up in just about everything you watch. All right, let's go with, let me see, trying to think of some, what have we got here? Okay, we did the snow. We went back and did the snow screensaver on that one. I wonder if they got the ones with the wolves on it. White snow wolves.
Getting that from YouTube.
I don't know where White Snorks. Wow, that's an old cartoon from back in the day. I remember them. This cartoon came out on Saturday morning. Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks. Saturday, we don't have that anymore for kids anymore. I used to have the Saturday morning lineup, and they would show all the cartoons that were coming out. You know what I mean? You would sit down there early in the morning with your family, and you would watch all the new cartoons that were coming out in September. Sad thing about it, September, because you had to go back to school. But good thing about it, all the good cartoons were going to be coming out. So yeah, I remember that. And I remember when this cartoon came out and they were advertising for this. I think it was on Hanna-Barbera, or it was one of them. They were advertising for this. Wow, I gotta go back and watch some of these right here. These are complete episodes too. All right, White Snow Wolves. I forgot about this one. Eating white mini marshmallows. Really, that's a thing? I'm into the AMSR, or ASMR. I watch a lot of those. Let me see. White Snow Wolves.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. Ooh, look how bright the white levels are on that one right there. But it's BBC, it's National Geographic. They would slam me with a copyright in a minute. Like I said, mind you, 30% done. These are the white levels right now we have. I'll add the 30% in there. Didn't get a chance to put it in the description of the title, because they only give you like so many charters. They only give you like 60, which I can never understand that. But the minute you go into editing mode, they give you the full 100. So right now, information, there won't be any information on this. We'll actually put on there where you buy our screen paints from, but there's no information on this. Like I said, this is 30%. It's not even finished yet. And then as you see, one of the gripes I have about when people do the sample sheets, like the little small sheets, they will fit the projector to fit within that little tiny screen. And when you do that, what happens is it makes the pixels push tighter together, and it sharpens and brightens the image. As you can see, we're doing a full overlap of the screen behind a white screen. So there's no pixels fitting within that little area. They're expanded all the way out. Okay, happy with that one. I like this one right here, but man, we know we'll get hit so hard with that one. You know, messing with National Geographic, they don't play around. Learn that one the hard way. I did a video a long time ago, and bottom line is they come right away like, "Oop, you gotta move that video, get out of there." I'm like, okay. You don't really play around too much on that one. Okay, pull up with some white levels in it. I'm trying to think about something we got with some white levels. Oh, let's see. Oh, I got one. Beautiful Women, 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
This would definitely do it. Let me see what we got going on here. See if we can get the actual. No, we don't want that one. We don't want a survey. I want the actual I got a bad idea about that right there popping up. No, we don't want still shots. We want actual visual videos. 4K. Okay, I see where they made the mistake right there. We need to delete this one, and we need to bring in this right here, 4, and then we need to bring in the K, and that should do it. There we go. Okay, let's see. This should be it. There we go. That's what I wanted. This is, I'm definitely, I was going to put an exotic downstairs on my screen. I want this on my screen. I definitely want this on the 235.1. Oh yeah, I gotta make a gallon. I'm making a gallon tonight for myself. Definitely gonna make a gallon and get ready to the process of coating my screen with this. Put my hand in front of that just to remind you how dark that coating is, that formula is, next to the white screen, pulling the white levels next to a white screen. Like I said, it's not about contrast. We're not doing contrast at all. We're concentrating on showing you how high that this dark formula's white levels are compared to a white screen. And you're going to see some flashes of contrast in there. But like I said, you need to concentrate on the white levels. We already know the screen's going to be to pull that contrast level. It's dark. Just to show you up close, for anyone who's curious about me getting close up on top of the screen, that's how impressive that white level is on that technology. So that grass is not even green. Oh man, I'm telling you, God is amazing, amazing. That's why you have to basically keep it. Don't brag, relax. Just what I said, sometimes a part of me gets to the point where I feel like saying, it happens, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to curb that. I'm trying to control that part because, you know, God gives you a blessing. You can't just go out there and go, yeah, we're designing technology that's designed to dominate everything on the planet. We could do it, honestly, to tell you the truth. I mean, with I have old technology that's far more advanced than what's on the market right now. And this technology right here is only 30% done. And look at the performance rate on it at 30%. It's pulling a white level that's actually nearly equal to a white screen. When it reaches 100%, I don't even know what the outcome's going to be at 100% or where the screen's going to lay at 100%. But at 30%, look at the advancements of it already. And will we line this up against screens that, like I said, took years to develop, years for these companies to develop, and yet we have technology that's far more advanced than ours. When I say already that we have stuff that's already future-proof, we have technology downstairs that's already set up for the years to come. And why these, and I hate to say it, not to be really disrespectful, but why these companies and these naysayers out here that are just, I hate to say it, when you do evil things, you can't become successful. You can't go any farther. You know, all knowledge comes from God. Everything comes from God. All knowledge comes from him. If all knowledge came from us, we would be able to understand everything on the earth and how it functions, but we don't. Even the most smartest man on the face of the planet is always learning. He does not know everything, or he only knows what he can learn. That's all he knows. So all knowledge comes from God. So the fact that we put our faith into God 100% in everything that we do, this is why our knowledge, our technology is where it's at now. But for these people who hate on us, want to see us destroyed or whatever, you can't go any farther. That's why by the time you come up with one product, we have 4 or 5 of them already far more advanced to the next one. The limitless technology was developed in December. 4 of them came out right after the next one. Each one took an hour to develop. Each one of them beat 11 screen certification from the door. And already we have technology that now is surpassing, it's an upgrade from the limitless, which is the Ultra Nova. The Ultra Nova is the advanced version of the limitless already. And it produces amazing white levels. So that's what I try to explain. You know, at the end of the day, I don't get mad about these people that are doing these wrong things against me. At the end of the day, you're going to get yours because I know God protects us, number one, and he directs us where we need to go. And like I said, we're blessed to have good people like attorneys that back us up, that can help us get through what we're going through. But on top of that, you take nothing off my plate. All your efforts of trying to destroy me goes nowhere at all. Because every time you try something dirty, God blesses us. Every time you try to do something wrong against us, God blesses us. So now we have technology that's way beyond we're used to seeing on the limitless. Now I'm just amazed by these white levels. But like I said, the more you try to curse us, the more God blesses us. We go up, you go straight down. You can't go against God's people. I'm sorry, but it don't work that way. Satan has never won a victory, and he never will. So anytime you see me displaying something, this isn't my work. This is God's work. I give him the glory for it. It's hard to give the God glory for something when you're basically cursing somebody else. And keep in mind, when you lift up your heels to a Christian, there's consequences for that. I can't get over this. I said that God's blessings can be so amazing that it's even hard for me to even be able to process it. That's why I know people have extremely high intelligent IQs. I know a few of them have very high IQs. And so very few will give the glory to God and say God gave them the knowledge and the intelligence to do so. And some of them think they did it themselves. They really believe they did it themselves. But you can be the most intelligent person in the world. Next day you can get a stroke. And all that can be gone just like that. Your blessings can be taken away. You know what I mean? You should acknowledge that you have a higher, more advanced ability than most people. And let's have the knowledge from God when you have that kind of intelligence. That's why I don't like when people say, oh, the science did it, the science did it. First of all, God was here before the science. For those of you that are in Scientology and all that stuff like that. But it's true. If that's the case and all knowledge came from man, how come we don't know everything? If that was the case. If man was all-knowing and all-seeing and all knowledge came from man, then how come you don't know everything? Even the smartest man has to learn. Yeah, so get knowledge from somewhere. I like that. Let's see what else we can get with some nice bright levels on it. Let me see. Let's go with let's come out of here. And can we go somewhere? I'm gonna go search and see if we can find some more. What else do we have on here? Oh. Can't do that. Told you, when they start singing, it's a no-no. Yeah, it's a no-no. I'm gonna come out of here real quick. Let's bring up something else that we got. Let's bring up, let's see. 4K video white levels. I have no idea where that's gonna go to.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'm kind of scared on that one. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. We can't do the contrast because that's going to be too easy. We have to do something that's going to be really, really freaking crazy hard. That's not going to happen. Let's see what we got going on here. Give me some white levels. What about some nice, beautiful beaches? Blue beaches. There's some nice white levels. We did Doggy Boy. Doesn't this thing have one on the penguins, the snow penguins?
Since we're both working from home, we need the best internet possible.
Verizon Fios gives you more of the best on the 100% fiber optic network.
All working from home, sister. We're all working from home. Well, not all of us, but I got a few people I know that are not working from home, but I'm working. I always work from home anyway. I had a friend of mine call me, like, how do you do it? Like, how do I do what? Like, how in the world do you work from home every day and not drive you crazy? No, I've been doing it for a long time. It just doesn't drive me crazy. I like working from home. The commute to work is a breeze. What are these? It said a day in the life of a... Oh, these are foxes. Oh, no, I didn't pick that up. An Arctic fox. I don't see these, but I got quite a few foxes that come to the house. Because in the morning, I feed the cats. And cats don't gobble all their food up. That's one thing I love about cats. I love dogs, too. But a dog, if you put a big pile of food in front of a dog will eat until he throws up. I know. I've had many dogs. But a cat will go over and eat a little bit of his food and be done with it. They'll come back, eat a little bit here and there. They don't eat like that. But a dog, if you put enough food in, a dog will eat until he throws up. Yes, they will. But I put out cat food outside because we got 3 stray cats that come to the house and I feed them. And at nighttime, since there's still food out there, we get the night crawlers. So we get the skunks, raccoons, foxes, possums, and a few other weird things that are around my house. Let me explain something to you. At 6 o'clock, I don't go outside my door. When I mean I get that many visitors that come to the house at night, I don't go out my door. I don't know what's going to be out there waiting for me. I got high bushes out there in front of my house, and I never know what's going to pop its head up and jump on me, so I don't go out. And what I do is I try to, when I get packages that come at night, I remove the food off the porch so the drivers don't get startled by something waiting for them, like a couple foxes or maybe a few raccoons out there, because now since there's food out there, they brought friends, which I kind of enjoy watching them on camera. So I got cameras down low in the bushes so I can watch these guys, because I like the way they eat and stuff like that. I'm a bit of a nature fiend. But I've watched on the camera, like where my bushes sit and my area is dark, we have a number of night creatures out there that come out there to eat the cat food. So, you know, on my front porch, I've witnessed seeing 4 or 5 foxes. As a matter of fact, a video I was doing live, I heard the bull moving around, and I went there, there was a huge possum out there, and he didn't even move. He just looked at me like, "And you're going to come out here and do what?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do anything. Eat the food, enjoy it, bye, shut the door." Yeah, I get possums that come up on the porch. I get skunks. I think out of all the ones I pretty much would be more cautious to be around would be the foxes, because if the fox comes up one by itself, they're run. But if 2 or 3 of them show up, you got a fight on your hands. And they don't like to back down. The possums depends on which one you bump into, because we have 6 or 7 of those who come up on the property. King Ralph is another one. He's a huge, massive raccoon. I have to get him on recording so you can see how big this raccoon is. But he comes up and he eats. I actually cut food up for him and I leave it on top of the trash cans. They don't dig through none of the trash. I have tons of trash bags, but I forgot trash day. There's no trash all over the place. They don't tear the trash up. They eat the food and they leave. It's like they respect the area, which is beautiful. But the ones that I fear the most are the skunks. Because if a skunk gets you, you're going to have to get in your car or whatever with that smell on you. And they come out in droves around the house because they spray the side of the house. You can smell a little bit of scent in the house. So we get a bunch of those up here. And since I've been feeding the cats, the skunks come up to eat. So we get about 6 or 7 of those will pop up. And then, and interesting, they don't fight each other. I watch the raccoons walk past one side. I watch possums walk on the other side. I watch skunks on this side. I watch the foxes come and eat. It's kind of like they wait till that person's finished, and then they go and eat. So I make sure I put plenty of food out there for them. So now at nighttime, I feed the night creatures, and in the morning, I feed the morning creatures. So it's pretty interesting. But the foxes, I've seen quite a few of those come up on the porch up close. Some of them are a bit curious. Like if I leave my door open, I have a iron gate in there. They'll sniff around the door. That's basically about it. They never snare or anything, and they take off. It's kind of like a dog you can't touch, you know. But the other ones that come up, the ones I fear the most would be the skunks. We get those in droves. Those are interesting. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like pets I have, but I can't touch them. All right, let's find something else we got here. I think I've only been to the beach like twice in my entire life. I'm not a big fan of the beach. Really not a big fan of the beach. There's a lot of weird stuff that washes up in the sand. Not a big fear. I'm not a big fan of the beach. And on top of that, I'm not a big fan of water, period. To tell you the truth, large sums of water. And people have to consider the fact, I'm not trying to spook anybody out, but there are things in the water that you really just don't know about. Like, seriously. We only know about what's in the ocean by what we know. That's it. You don't know about the other half that's in the ocean, which I'm not trying to find out if it's in there or not. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. You know, I might do some color because I can't find too many white demonstrations on here. We've done just about the ones I usually do in my category. We did the wolves. We did skywork demonstrations, which had very bright demonstrations in there. What else? Oh, they got one on here. Wait, they got one I think I haven't done yet. I think it's one with the married couple. It's getting married. See if they have that one on there. We'll do this one too. Okay. And some of you are wondering, like, what is he doing up this late? Well, I don't remember what time I went to sleep last night. I know I dozed off. I woke up around 11 o'clock, and I thought, well, since I'm up, might as well do a late stream. Here I am. Oh, Mr. Panda. Oh. Boy, I know how something so big can be so vicious. Read the Bible. That's all I gotta say. Can't figure out that one. How bears look so cute and you can't go up and hug them. Yeah, read the Bible. There's a reason why they're like that. Beginning the fall of man. Has something to do with Adam and Eve. don't know why they keep mentioning the apple, and the Bible doesn't say what, it says a fruit. It doesn't say what kind of fruit. But apparently someone got the idea it was an apple. But, yep. There is one point that you could, if it never happened, just say it never happened. Say Eve never ate the apple. There'd be no such thing as war, death, plagues, none of that. None of that would ever exist. Lion could lay down with the lamb. No murder, no jealousy, no envy, no greed. None of that would ever exist. Man would live forever. Because there'd be no death. There's no timeline. When you watch Natural Geographic and you watch animals murder and kill each other and stuff like that, people say, oh, that's the animal chain. That's the way the survival of the fittest. No, it was never like that to begin with. That's you watching the curse. Man was cursed. The earth was cursed. Everything was cursed. It's cursed with death. Timeline. So a man can't live forever. Oh, they try, but they can't. And who would want to anyway? The earth is cursed. People don't realize that. Everything on the earth decays, falls apart. Nothing lasts forever on the earth. Nothing. It stands through time, but eventually it doesn't last forever. That's why I don't get obsessed over this stuff. I don't. I can get $1 million contracts. I can get big contracts for this technology. Nah. It's not something that I chase. I chase God. That's what I chase. People spend so much time chasing what's on the earth and they forget God. And then when it comes to your time to meet Him, you have nothing to show for it. You know, some Christians go too far. Yeah, you trust me. When people sit there and say, oh, but, you know, you're just going after people that are not saved. No, I come after Christians too. Because there are Christians out there that are doing things that they know they should not be doing. Like these preachers that have these multi-million dollar, I watch that sometimes. It disgusts the daylights out of me. I can't watch it from $1 million jets. You need a $1 billion jet? Are you kidding me? Jesus didn't need $1 billion jet. And He was God. If He wanted to, He could have flew from one end to the next if He wanted to. Jesus didn't drive Bentleys or expensive cars. None of that. He had none of that at all, period. He was born in a manger. And yet you have preachers up here with $1,000, $4,000 or $5,000 shoes and $5,000 belts and driving fancy cars and eating at fancy restaurants, $6 million homes. That's money that could have went to help somebody who needed the help. I watch them too. It's like I said, a Christian comes up there and tells you that he can't be convicted for nothing that he does. Oh, yes, you can, but even worse. Yeah, because we know better. It's one minute when you don't know better. It's another when you do know better and you do something dumb. But yeah, I just watched this. It was a court hearing for a preacher. I don't know if you might have saw it. Heavyset guy, balding on the top. And they were just explaining the expenses that this guy was spending. I'm like, whoa, my God. $5,000 for a Louis Vuitton belt. $5,000 for a belt. $20,000, $30,000 for suits. They had a Rolls Royce, I think it was a Mercedes-Benz cut in half, $150,000. Huge, $6 or $8 million of state mansions. Are you kidding me? Are you gotta be bold. I give you that much. You gotta be bold to steal from God. You gotta be bold. That's crazy. Oh, some music. Hope it's not copyright, please. No singing in it. I got fun with this thing. Yep. There we go. Can't do it. Can't go against that. because you don't know, the artist could not give you the right to actually use their music, even though it's in their video. They could have got the rights for it, which I find kind of weird. If you got the rights for using their music in your video, and then you're broadcasting the video of your technology all over YouTube, then that means anyone who comes in and basically either records that using your video for something else they may be displaying is victimized for getting caught in that copyright, because they don't have permission from the artist for their setup, but they have it for, like I said, it's just one of those things. When you really think deep on it all, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, I know why people think, okay, because I talk about God a lot, but it doesn't mean that. You got to remember, Christians are not perfect. They're going to make mistakes too. Some don't want to believe that. Some believe that they don't make mistakes, but they do. The only thing is that you truly have to go back and ask the Lord for forgiveness. You can't just say, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, forgive me. I can go back doing the same dirt again because I'll be forgiven every single time. It don't work that way. You have to be truly sorry for what you have done to be forgiven for it. It's like somebody punching you in the face every day. Every morning they punch you in the face and they apologize for it, and they do the same thing the next day. They're not sorry for that. Now, you know why I can forgive Jamie or Fernando? I have to go through what I have to go through because I have to protect my company and protect myself. I have to. This is not being done out of revenge or hatred. It's because I have to protect my company against individuals that are going to come against me like this. I have to. But at the end of the day, I have no hatred toward this man. I have no revenge or whatever, so on and so forth. I'm not that kind of person. I used to be that kind of person. In my 20s, I was a different person. But I'm not that kind of person. It's because people have to understand, you have to forgive people. You have to forgive them. And the reason why you have to forgive them doesn't give them the right to walk over top you. You still can take them to court and you can sue them and do whatever you need to do to defend yourself. You have to do that, all right? But at the end of the day, in your heart, you have to forgive them. And the reason why is because God can't forgive you. If you go out and you don't forgive your brother or sister, whoever it may be, for something they did, and you hold that anger against them, you can't go before God and ask him for forgiveness knowing you have not forgiven another. So for me, I forgive people. And it was hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's very hard to do, to be to forgive somebody who has wronged you. It's very hard to do. And I think really quick, I'm sorry, I know I'm going off topic here. I like to talk about my Lord, you know it already from the door, but there was an incident that happened, and I was a halfway Christian. I was still doing some dumb stuff, but I still kept my faith with the Lord. Just doing dumb stuff back and forth. So there was a neighbor I didn't like too much. We had words back and forth a few times. And at this time, I used to have these really big pit bulls. I had one was called Junior and one was called Tigger. They're 180-pound brindle pits. And they were trained, and I did train these dogs. I trained these dogs. I had a canine suit. I trained these dogs to be able to attack people, not to hurt people, to defend my house. So they were trained, but they were not trained to go after another dog. They weren't trained to kill dogs and all that stuff like that. But these dogs were trained that they had to fight another dog. They would hold their own, but they weren't trained for that. They were trained to be attack dogs to defend the house. That's it. So these are some pretty big dogs I used to have. So like I said, they weren't pure pit. They were like Rottweiler, German Shepherd. And they had some Bullmaster in them. They were like really big husky brindle dogs. Long story short, me and this guy got into this argument outside. I'm the one who initiated the argument because his truck was parked outside the house, and he worked for some company that picks up elderly people. And I knew what he was doing was wrong. Was basically he had a whole bunch of old people in the back of his car, his vehicle, and he was picking up something from the house. Now he might have just been going in to grab something real quick and so on and so forth. But I got petty, and I decided to call his supervisor with a video recording from my cameras showing the license plate of his vehicle, and he got mandated for it. He got in some trouble. So he knew where it came from. So we got in the words outside, and a fist fight was about to break out. This guy was much bigger than me. I was not trained in my field, what I used to be. I'm trained in martial arts now, but when at that particular time, I was not trained in a field of hand-to-hand combat. So this guy would have taken me easily. So my biggest concern was to get to the house, open up the door, and let the pit bulls out, which I did, which I shouldn't have did. And when these dogs came out, the first thing they did was they wanted to go jump on him because they saw the owner being attacked. And good thing none of them locked on him. These dogs they were interesting animals on how I had them bred because I wanted a pit bull. Usually pit bulls have a short snout. I wanted a pit bull with a long snout like a gator. Now imagine a dog with a gator. We call that gator, which we call it like a German Shepherd type gators, have a long snout. You got a 3-inch fang line. These dogs had a little bit of wolf in them. We mixed them with a lot of stuff. But they had a 3-inch fang line, a gator with a 150-pound pressure lock. That's a lot of power for a dog to have. When we trained the dogs, we used to put them on treadmills to build them up and stuff like that. Like they were lovely. I mean, they had birthday parties and all that stuff. I treated them like they were my own kids. They slept in the house and never slept in the yard. They were my babies. But they were trained to be guard dogs, to take care of the house. If anything came in the house, the job was to take it out. So when I knew that I knew what I was doing when I opened up that door, I released those dogs, knowing that if those dogs attacked this man, there was a 90% chance he wasn't going to make it. So I had to go out there and I had to pull these dogs. One's 180 pounds, one's 180 pounds, and they're pulling with force to get him off this man. This man finally got released. He didn't press any charges or nothing. Of course, that's kind of like certain rules in certain neighborhoods. It's kind of like if you ever lived in a certain neighborhood, there's certain rules you have to follow. You can't go snitching. You have to handle things within the neighborhood. It's a long story. Like I said, I grew up with did some crazy stuff when I was young. But anyway, it was my fault. I triggered that. I did. I triggered it. And the bottom line is this dude was really ticked off. I would have been ticked off too. He was really ticked off about it. I had to go next door and I had to apologize to this man to tell him that I was sorry for what I did. It was wrong. And that was hard for me to do because I had a lot of pride and I didn't want to go over there and tell him this because in my mind, he was wrong for what he did for attacking me. Not considering the fact that I triggered the thing to begin with. I triggered it. I started it by filing a complaint against this man who did nothing wrong to me, and it was my fault. But in my head, so fixated with basically this self-pride that I didn't want to go over there. And I was sitting there fighting with God about this because God was telling me, you got to go over there. You got to apologize for what you did because you know what you did was wrong. Like, I don't want to do this. It's not my fault. It's his problem. He gets on my nerves. So much I had all these excuses why I didn't want to do it. But I had to swallow that pride. And I had to go out there and apologize to this man because I knew in my heart I was wrong for what I did. Hard to do. It's really hard to do because you fight yourself on it. It's hard to do. You know you did wrong and you will fight yourself on it. So I went over next door and I apologized for it. Now, long story short, many years after that, we became friends. Interesting. We used to joke and laugh about that today. Then we got into a fist fight outside. He's a pretty big guy. And I was like, we joke about it. He passed away a couple of last year. He died of COVID, but you know, cool dude. Like I said, it's interesting how God would take enemies and turn them into friends. But yeah, it started with the first and me going over because he wasn't going to come over and apologize. You know what I mean? About what were we going to apologize about? He didn't do anything. I started that one. So yeah, we became good friends and stuff like that after that. We joke and laugh about that. He was like, yeah, you know, me and Ken were outside and, you know, he got called, I almost lost my job. You know, I got kids got to take care of. I'm going to go over and beat the daylights out of them. And this joker, man, we're in there arguing. I threw a fist and we're throwing back and forth. And he ran up on the porch, opened the door. 2 big dogs came out. He was killing me. Always laugh and joke about that. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, forgiveness is hard. It's very hard to do. But as you keep doing it and keep doing it, it gets easier and easier. And sometimes it's a little hard. It does. And at the end of the day, when this guy makes these fake accounts about me and does nasty things about me and stuff like that, I have to go back and I ask my Lord for forgiveness, to clear my heart of the anger, and do things on a level that is sound. So me going out and getting the attorney, me going out and doing what has to be done, it's not done out of revenge. It's done out of something I have to do to defend my company. That's how it's done. So for his end, he thinks it's not about revenge. It's nothing to do with revenge. If that was the case, I would have never gave you the ultimatum. I would have never gave you the decision and the choice to begin with to be able to, when I had the chance to sue you, and I didn't, and I said, I'm going to give you a chance to mind your own business. If it was about revenge, I would have sued you already, and I didn't. So, you have to look into that too. But like I said, there's nothing I could do because I had to defend my company one way or another. At the end of the day, I can't allow people to do that to me. So, I have no hatred toward him. It's just that I feel sad for him that he takes that much effort and negative time to do that when he could be doing something productive with his life. But that's how people are sometimes. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's crazy. I've never seen anybody in my 11 years in this business. I've never seen anybody do the stuff that he's done, like never, and then just boldly do it, knowing that these consequences are coming towards you, and continue to do so. I've just never seen anything like it. But I don't know the man that well, and all I need to do is, for on my end, is just get this taken care of with the attorneys and get this done. And keep in mind that, and I'm not trying to say this to scare the fellow, but if you read through the infringements of a copyright, it's pretty brutal. And one of the things that can be done, they can garnish paychecks, they can garnish income tax returns, they can go in, and once they slap a judgment, these are liens that can lay against you for many, many years, keep you from getting a house, car, any kind of loans or whatever you may need. This is why I avoided trying to do this to begin with, because I didn't want his family to go through this. And not only that, if when judgment is cast and they're asking for, like, they want maybe $5,000 a month, maybe $5,000 a week, whatever the lawyers are going to ask for, if you can't pay that, what they'll do is, and I said before, it does happen, they can contact the sheriff's department in this district, and they can basically auction off his items, which means they will go to his house and they will start carting things out of his house and loading it onto a truck. So they can do that. So keep in mind, there's nothing that I want from you at all, period. I don't want your items. I don't want the money from it. I told the attorneys already, they can keep the money, all of it, whatever they get, they can have it, or they can donate it to charity. But I don't want anything of it. I just want you to learn the lesson of doing what you do is wrong, that you shouldn't be doing this at all, period. I don't make Instagram accounts about you. I don't call you a scammer, this, that, and the other. I called you a scammer one time, and that's when I found that the paint that you were making was exactly the same paint you were giving out for free. And that is kind of scamming people. So that is true. Anytime I call you something, I have to have evidence to back it up, or it's slandered. I know that for itself because I've sued people for that. So like I said, it's just this individual just doesn't learn. And now designing the Instagram account, and my lawyer's like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, I can't believe it myself. I don't even know how to process that for you. Dude, that's serious. Just very, very serious. I don't even know how to process this for him. It's not that we're not bothered. I'm bothered by it that he did do something like that, but it's kind of like, I don't call him stupid, but really, how dumb can you be? I showed you that the logo is registered. It's copyrighted with the U.S. government, has a registration number attached to it. And you took my logo, designed a fake Instagram account, and you're posing as my company, answering questions to other people, and you think that's funny. My friend, I can get you jail time for that. Easily. I can easily get you jail time for that. You can get 6 months to a year. You might get more than that. And then consider the fact, that's just my lawyers. When we go down and file the complaint with the, when you read a copyright, keep in mind, there's a department in there that you can go and see. Someone goes in and they take your copyright and they're using it for stuff, like your image for something you didn't give them permission to do. There's a legal department within the copyright and trade and so forth, and their department that you can go and file a complaint, and they have to do an investigation. Police don't get involved in that. FBI gets involved in that. And if they find evidence that you have done so, you're talking about fines up to $150,000, $250,000, $500,000, and possible jail time for that. And now we have not only on video of you walking into a Home Depot, doing this, committing this against us, but we actually have an account that you designed using our copyrighted logo without our permission. That's the equivalent to me taking Coca-Cola's logo, making an Instagram account and say, hey, don't buy this. This is the CEO of Coca-Cola. We do this to our drink so you can drink it. Do you have any idea how much trouble you can get in for that? Whew. Like I said, I don't understand. Like I said, at the end of the day, I can not hold anger toward this man. I have the belief of not holding anger or hatred toward this person, because I can give that to God and forgive him for that. but I still have to follow through and protect my company. And the reason why you have to forgive other people, because like I said, Christians aren't perfect. There are things that I do in my day, go through one day without committing one sin. No cursing, not even thinking anything evil. If you look at a woman the wrong way, you know that's considered to be adultery. Yeah, I'm guilty of that on so many levels. It's not funny, but it's true. Like I said, the body is a sinful body, but the thing is to try not to do it. Your body's cursed with sin. But try to go through one day without committing any form of sin whatsoever. Not one through the whole day. Not going to be able to do it. I've tried it many, many times. Not going to be able to do it. So I need God's forgiveness. I have to have His forgiveness because I do some dumb stuff sometimes. At the end of the day, I'll be sitting there talking to my friends, or I'll be on the gaming system, and I may curse. I know it was wrong to say it. I shouldn't have said it to begin with, but in the back of my mind, it sounded funny, and I thought they would get a laugh at it. And then after I say it, I feel bad for saying it because I know I wasn't supposed to say it because I'm supposed to be a Christian. So I go back and I ask the Lord for forgiveness. And the Lord forgives me for that. But I can't get forgiveness if I don't forgive others for what they do. See? I know. I talk a lot about God. I love the Lord. I do. I start my morning every day with the Lord. And on my last day on this earth, I will start my morning with the Lord. I love this. I love it so much. Yeah, so at the end of the day, like, things that people do against me, I'm not sitting around hatred and angry and mad. No. It's not like that. No. I feel sorry for you. I forgive you for what you have done. And there's no anger or you're not doing anything to me. And you're not taking away from me because God is the one that gives me my blessings. So my table stays blessed. So I am happy, my friend. But I feel sorry for you because the outcome of this is not going to be good. And it's going to put you through a very serious learning experience. And hopefully from all of this, you learn something. That's all. We all got to learn the hard way. I had to go through some stuff before I got here as a Christian. If I didn't, like I said, some of the stuff I did when I was younger, I'd have been in jail or dead, one or the other. There's only two places I was going. Well, either someone's going to kill me or basically I was going to jail for a long, long time. Well, I'm still here, so you know what happened to the other part, right? All right, there you go. You got to learn one way or another. You have to learn. And I think it's better when I tell people, when people say, why is God coming down on me so much? Why is He coming down on me so much? It's because He's trying to get your attention, saying, hey, look over here. Come to me. I got your back. Just trust in me. That's all I want you to do. But then you got some people, God, if He doesn't pay you any attention, He decides to turn His back to you and goes, oh, go do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I don't mind. Go ahead. Go out and do whatever you want to do. So forth. I'm good. I'm going to sit right here and turn and look the other direction. You don't want that. Because remember, people have to understand, on this earth, you have two beings on here with one super being. And the other one is like, I call that's the devil. You know what I mean? Devil bids for your soul every day. You don't know that the devil walks out. And I told people that. You read in the Bible, it says Lucifer walking through heaven, and God asks him, where are you going? He says, to and fro. Can't do anything in heaven at all. Period. There's no power up there at all whatsoever. But he does go back and forth. And he's always curious about God's people. Figuring out ways how to get them to fall and to corrupt themselves and whatever, so he can go in and do what he needs to do. But usually he's not bothered by the other ones because he already got you already. Mom used to tell me that when I was running the streets. So he's not worried about the Christians on the corner and all them. He got to struggle to get them. He's worried about you. He got you already. Just need to put you in the right direction where he needs you to be at. Now, if I had gotten murdered out in the street, excuse me for doing something stupid, well, I would have never gotten saved. I'd have never gotten baptized. I'd never found God, and I went straight to hell. He got me. Well, I went the other way, and when I was in there, that's when I found God. And that's where I stayed at, and that's why I said when I first Sunday I was released, I got baptized. Kept my word. And I did fall. I fell a lot of times. The backslid, fell, so on and so forth. So I picked myself back up and say, hey, Lord, I'm sorry. I fell and made this mistake. Can you forgive me? I forgive you. And try harder again. And fall down again. Get right back up. That's how it is. Let me see. Let's do this video right here. Oh, we just did this one. All right, let's do this one nice and high, bright. Ooh, let's do a food demonstration. Italy. If I ever get the opportunity to go to Italy, there's only one thing pasta dish I want: spaghetti. I love spaghetti so much. I love spaghetti. They say if you go there and eat pasta, can't come back here and eat it. It's not the same. Look at that. I love pasta dishes. Not just spaghetti, but I love pasta dishes. Or you can try the new stuff. I don't care. Not sure, but it looks like snails. I really do. I like the food that they made, but that little bit of food is not going to feed me at all, period, whatsoever. I don't know how people eat that. I mean, I've been to a few fancy restaurants, and they just give you this little bit of food. I'm like, voila, and you'll spend like $1,000 for it. And I'm like, this is not going to fill me up. After a while, I mean, you get done eating that food, you have to go near McDonald's and really get some food, or someplace you have to go to Mickey D's or Burger King or something. But yeah, that is not going to fill me up at all, period. Whew, I'll probably have to eat like 10 or 15 of those. That probably, I don't know. That's just not enough food. But I don't know. We can't do this one either. It's contrast. We need something with bright. You got any more bright demonstrations from here? Let's see. Oh, kind of fun. White flowers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Ooh. Oh, crunchy flowers. That does look good though. Crunchy giant white flowers. Are they really eating flowers? Okay. Let me see. Just trying to find anything with white levels in it. I'm gonna have to tomorrow morning go through YouTube, do some research, try to find what videos we can do some really high white levels are, because I need the contrast demonstrations we can't do. Let's see. 4K skin tones.
Getting that from YouTube.
Okay, keep going. Really fun out, people. Let's see. This is gonna be weird, but I'm pretty sure it might bring it up. 4K eyes, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
They had one that was nothing but eyes on it, which I think would make some great skin tones. Just look for white levels. Isn't it interesting when you have a dark screen and you're looking for white levels?
Water tastes like, well, water. So we fixed it. Meow.
Look, can't do this either. All right, so look, stockfootage.com is copyrighted. So you can't use, if you're doing videos, just let you know, if you see that SF on the side, you'll get a strike for that. So live and learn. All right, let's do this one. Costa Rica has bright. It has something to come bright, but yeah, we'll use that. I'm I'm gonna walk past in my dirty shirt. Keep in mind, this is my sleep shirt. It's clean, it's just dirty. It's covered in paint. And well, it's not dirty, it's clean. It's just basically covered in paint. It's my comfortable shirt. I like it. Voila. Voila. He is definitely not. I'm getting myself, I ordered a Mad Hatter tee from Alice in Wonderland. I love tea. You know I'm a big fan of tea, right? So I ordered the hat. I'm wearing that this year. I'm wearing a Mad Hatter's hat this year. I love that hat so much. Not that I'm mad or anything, it's just I like the hat. You know what I mean? I like that's a character like in Alice in Wonderland. He has this really crazy sense of humor. So you can see how amazing the white levels are on that black technology. Next to a white screen. Now some people are like, is he rambling on about God again? It's not rambling on, I'm talking about the Lord. Especially in this era we live in of COVID, should be closer to God, a lot closer to him. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Should be much closer to God. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So what we're doing here is we're working on the points of the Novas, or is develop screens that still have contrast. We can heighten those white levels much better. Give you more better contrast and colors and stuff like that. I can't till we start working on the game. We have a gamer paint. I told you it's about 30% done. They're missing key elements to it. So, like I said, 30% done. It's still missing a couple of key elements. And now I'm really considering coding this on my 235.1 downstairs because I've ordered the projector. The VSonic Ultra Short Throw is coming in. I'm a little nervous about this projector, and I'll tell you why. Because if it doesn't have that 235.1 option, I may have to change out my screen. And if I change my screen out, I'm going with a big screen. I'm going to go with a screen that's going to cover from the ceiling to the floor, and I want the whole entire wall expanded with a screen if I'm going to go buy me another screen. See if I can stick a 180-inch in there. But I'm hoping it does have the 235.1 option. Because out of the ViewSonics that I bought, I've never bought one of their ultra short throws. I've got a short throw, long throw, the 4K version of their projector, but I never had the ultra short throw. So I'm not 100% sure. It should have it. It should have a 235.1 on it. But like I said, ViewSonic doesn't tell you if it has it or not. And anyone who has a projector has never showed if it had a 235.1. So I guess I'll be the first one to show it off. Because I wish somebody did have it to say, hey, look, 235.1 option. That would be nice. So I paid about $1,200 for the projector. They had the 1080p, but I didn't get the 1080p model. The 1080p was around 2,000 lumens. It didn't have lens shift on it. I don't know why. But the one they had for 720p, that was the WXGA, had the 3300 lumens, and it had lens shift capabilities on it, which I do need for my projectors. I'm not worrying about whether if it's 720p or 4K. I don't really need it. Most of my projectors are 720p. I guess we can do, what's this right here? Let's do food demonstration Samsung.
Getting that from YouTube.
What do we have here? This one away. Sorry about that. Let's bounce out for a minute. You know, some people may think, well, why would I get that? Because your screen looks exactly like a white screen, and I can buy a white screen and do the exact same thing. See the contrast level that just pulled right from there. So if we go with, oh, let's do this one too real quick. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do the one next to that one. So probably around, not this week, but next week it'll be available. It still has to go through the rest of the testing, and we have to get it up to 100%. So get it to 100% first, and then after that we'll start to begin the testing. You can get Blu-rays in 235.1. It has to say widescreen format. That's what it has to say. So it's not going to say 235.1. It's going to say widescreen format. Those are the ones you can actually use for 235.1. Just has to have that widescreen format on it. That's all it basically says in the back. I'll show you one once I get my other projector here and we do the demonstration again on the 235.1 with the new coding attached to the screen. I'll put in Star Wars on my PS4 and I'll show you where it'll show that it'll do the 235.1 setting. But yeah, you got that certain select. Now, keep in mind, for those of you that are going to be curious doing the 235.1 setting, this is like true dedicated screen because you can't run everything off of it. You're not going to run anything 16:9 off of it, as I showed you before. The top of the heads or pieces of the bottom are going to be missing. So anything you throw up on that screen has to be done for widescreen format only, or it's not going to work. Now, PC, you could probably run some PC games off of it because PC games allow you to go in and change your settings for your ratio. So some of the driving games do have a form of a 235 or 239.1 setting to give you that kind of widescreen kind of mode to it. But usually with most games, with console games, the majority of them are going to be done for 16:9 format. You can run 16:10 on it, maybe 15:9, but you're not going to be able to get away with the 235 or 239.1. There's different settings for the widescreen format. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them that they have. I think 17 1.1. It's something crazy, but anyway, yeah. It's like for me, I have that screen there, and then in the next room I have a 126-inch because anything I'm watching there is 16:9, which is most games and video movies and stuff like that, or for that format, I'll watch on that screen. And if I find a certain screen that's 235.1 setting or has been converted to widescreen format, I'll watch it on that screen. I'll tell you something right now. I watch very little on that screen. I do, or maybe it's because I haven't built up a library yet. There's a good amount of library for them, just haven't built up one for it yet. But I'm gonna do it on this one. I might just get me another one of those mini computers and hook it up to that one and just download movies on it for that particular unit. But that's it. When you look on it, just look for where it says widescreen format, and that will tell you that it does the 235.1. Actually, Mad Max, the last one they did, they have it in widescreen. You do have it in widescreen, but you just have to look around, that's all. It'd be interesting if they made a converter. I don't know if they do that. See, I need to look into that. I had a few people ask me about that. Do they have a converter where you can actually convert the 16:9 into a 230? That would be kind of cool if they did have something like that. But we have to look into that because that'd be cool because then you can watch sports in 235.1. You can watch anything in 235.1 if they had a converter. But I gotta look into that, see if someone has it. They might not. I don't know. The only thing with the 235.1 setup too is, don't worry about the height. You always have the height for 235.1. Even at 178 inches, you had the height for it. You gotta have the length for those screens. So those screens are very, very long in length. Nope, we don't need that. Thank you. So this is the screen displaying its contrast capabilities. Because I know when you look at it next to a white screen, some people think, well, what's the point of buying that? Might as well get a white screen and do the same thing. Nope, you won't. But we'll do that once I get the projector here. I'll talk to you about a few things about 235.1 that you'll find interesting. That's a great screen, trust me, I love it. I love that widescreen format, I really do. So this is coated on plexiglass. Now, over here, which I now want to do one of these like this. This is actually the wallpaper screen I was showing you. These things are real thin. This is actually, some people think this is on the wall. This is a wallpaper screen right there. That's wallpaper right there. It's a wallpaper screen. I want to coat that with this formula right here. So I can have a wallpaper screen with, like this thin with this coating on it would be amazing. It would look sick in your home. And these screens do 235.1 because this screen is wallpaper surface. It's 4 by 8 feet. I can show you where you can get the surface for around, I can get it for like $28. I think it's $20, but altogether with the shipping it's like $44, which is a lot cheaper than basically paying for the other fiberglass or plexiglass, which is heavier, more thicker. It's going to cost you more money to get it shipped. You know what I mean? You have to go through that with this stuff right here. It's very thin. You can roll it up, and when you roll it up, take it out, it lays flat, which is good. Samsung. Is that an actual? Okay. We did this one. Oh, okay. It's this one right here. This This is a nice bright demonstration. So the name of the technology, we call them Advanced Ambient Light Rejection Ultra Nova 17. That's the name of the technology. This one does not have a name signed to it yet, because like I said, it's 30% done. There's still has to be 100% in order to get the name, and we're missing a few key elements to heighten the screen. So it's going to be much better than this. We're going to get it better than this. Especially I want to improve the white levels a little bit more. Guy on the bike is getting it in. And the rest of them are amazing, but the guy on the bike, he's just about everywhere on that bike. I gotta look that up. That looks really interesting. That's pretty cool. Get some nice bright demonstrations. Let's go with, oh, I got one. Sharp 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Like I said, we switched back over to the more brighter scenes. We're not looking for contrast. We're looking how high the darker screen can pull white levels compared to the white screen. So that's what that's for. Because it's more about the white levels than the contrast when we're doing this demonstration. Let's see. Hold on for me back. I'm gonna do a lights out demonstration. Oh, yeah. Sure. Alright, sorry about that. I had to put a clean shirt on because my shirt was looking kind of raggedy. Like I said, it's early in the morning, so I'm usually up wearing my old clothes around the house. Big baggy clothes. I like to wear. And did I walk over the remote control? Ah, yes, I did. Good story of my life. I love going through those Japanese doorway curtains. It's like whoosh, push right through. Let's do this for the lights. I want to use the lights. Shutter door here. Right. Show the white light reflecting off the screen right here. When you start with a black screen doesn't show anything on the wall. Nothing, absorbs all the light. Sorry about that for a minute. You can see that's that technology. Close. Nice and bright. I do that just to show people, remind how dark that screen, that formula is. I'm gonna shortcuts up here. We can play around with it real quick. Have I done this one? Oh, Bangkok. Can we just do this one? Hold on. Yeah. Alright. I'm not worried about it. I was going to bring up this screen's going to pop up on a white level with no problem.
Bigger boats.
Ooh, that's a beautiful boat.
Tougher trucks.
You know something you don't see a lot of? Jet black boats. Usually boats are white. I mean, of course they have them white so you can see them, but usually only boats they make that are jet black are pretty much either super boats or luxury, what do you call them, yachts. You just can't go in and get an everyday boat and have it black. I would love to have a jet black boat. But then again, like I said, I don't like being in water anyway. I do like water sports though. Any kind of water ride at any kind of amusement park. Yeah, I like those. I love the bumper cars. Oh man, I love the bumper cars. Just never get enough time on them. But I think out of all the rides I like the most is the merry-go-round. I love the merry-go-round. That is my absolute favorite. All right, let's have some fun. Let's flex the screen's contrast capabilities. Black 4K contrast demonstrations, OLED.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh. That's the easy one to do. It's a lot of bright colors, and that's why it's very easy to do. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. This is a light contrast demonstration. Not that one. Oakley Dokley. And let's do this one. I think I'm gonna. Okay. Okay, this one right here. This would be contrast. Nope, don't need it. Thank you. All right, so the new technology is going to be available not this Monday, but next Monday, of course. We're going to have it in 1 quart and 2 quarts to begin with. It will be the same thing as the same specifications under the Limitless, which it requires for the screen to be sprayed on. Now, if you are coating this onto a front projection screen, it's best to use a dark primer, dark gray primer, when applying it. And keep in mind that has to be sprayed on. If you're using it for rear projection, it does take 3 coats. The 3 coats is the max you can do on rear, and each coat actually gives the screen a tint, whether you want it light, whether you want it medium, whether you want it dark. And that's also a 1 coat, actually 3 coat application, depending on how dark you want the screen. Best paint sprayer I like to use with it is a Wagner 250. I like that paint sprayer. They're around a really reasonable price. They come in around $59. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's. Like I said, these are when it comes to the 17s, it's kind of a professional kit. It does require a paint sprayer only for this technology. If you're using this for front, as I said before, coat the surface with a dark gray primer, and just coat the screen at one time, and you're done. That's it. Let's try the LG Beta Fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
Just ask for fun with the contrast and the technology. We're going to play the entire video, and then after that we're done. I usually don't let the whole thing play through, but the whole video play through. 4K Fish, YouTube.
Area of YouTube.
Probably gonna let this run for the rest of the night in here.
Your whole team hits to your upper thigh for that smooth roast and aim.
Okay, well, I'm loving it. I gotta do that, nah, I'm done. Alright, I'm done. I gotta get some rest anyway. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for taking the time. Boy, we were up pretty late, aren't we? I gotta get some rest. Tomorrow morning, I gotta get ready to start getting this orders processed. Gotta go to Uline and order more containers and get the orders we have to be taken out and the other orders that will be taken out also too. We have a lot of orders that will be going out today. And for Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be getting orders out all that week. These are going to be the orders that will be going out for those days for the orders we got to catch up with. And then the driver is already marked another date for Friday for another big ship out date. So if you're interested in the screen paint, you can put your order in. It'll be processed, taken care of. You'll get your tracking number. The reason why we got backed up the last time because we got hit with 2 back-to-back snowstorms and delayed getting some item in. But since we don't have any snowstorms kicking in right now, I've been online ordering whatever I need to get in here so we can have it here just in case we get hit with a storm, we're good. All right, with that being said, thank you for your time. I thank my Lord and Savior for blessing me to be able to get up in the day and get this done and do what needs to be done. Thank you, Lord. And y'all be safe out there, and I gotta go.